for being here today. We are ready to start the Tourism Development Commission regular meeting here on Tuesday, December 16th. If I could get a roll call, please.
Yes, good morning. Chairperson Minear.
Present.
Vice Chair Montgomery. Commissioner Miller.
Present.
Commissioner Marion.
Present.
Commissioner Kisselberg.
Present.
Commissioner Shoshanovic.
Present.
Commissioner Shelton. Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you. Moving on to item number 2, approval of minutes. Do commissioners have any changes, adjustments to the minutes from our previous meeting? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I move we approve the minutes.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, moving right along. Item number 3, Western Spirit Scottsdale's Museum of the West Marketing and Funding Request. Commission discussion and possible recommendation to City Council for a bed tax fund expenditure of $90,000 to support marketing and advertising of the March 2026 grand opening of the new Louis Sands IV Center Museum expansion and Basha Western Art Collection. Presenting today is Todd Bankafear, CEO and Executive Director. Welcome.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Glad to be here. I was here 2 months ago to talk about Western Spirit and kind of give you an update about where we are. Today I'm here to ask for some help. We are I know that's going to go. There we go. As many of you know, we've been under construction for the last 2 years, building the Louis Sands, the Fourth Center, and we're very fortunate to have it completed. Got our certificate of occupancy, and we've started to curate it to put the art in it. We know that this 11-year-old facility, now having 12,000 more square feet, brings us to 55,000 square feet of museum art space. We've received, as I said when I gave you the update, a lot of accolades, and since then we've also been renamed as the #1 Western museum in the United States. And we're very, very proud of that. It doesn't come easy. This new expansion to the museum takes Western Spirit, I believe, to a whole new level. We are going to bring the Eddie Basha collection up from Chandler, some of the most beautiful fine art Western Spirit's ever seen, and we're going to bring it to the museum. We're also going to have one of the largest Native American jewelry exhibits in that new space, as well as the largest Hopi pottery exhibit in the entire United States will be in this new expansion area. Something that we're very, very proud of. If I can just get the... As you know, and I talked about last time, it took us to raise $17 million to build this new facility, as well as doing some refresh on the existing part of the museum to sort of elevate what we believe to sort of be the beauty and the art capacity of the museum. And we've done that. It's great to have seen the great support from our community and from the city and you. We're just so very grateful for that great private-public partnership. Whoops, there we go. In 2022, the National Endowment for the Arts did a study, and of all 50 states in the United States, to reveal the type of potential that museums were still having as far as visitors. And they determined in Arizona that 16% of our total number of adults in the state of Arizona, we were about 5.6 million people here in Arizona, probably 5.5 million of those are short of that, maybe 4 something for our adults, but they assumed that 16% of those, or 900,000 people, were potential visitors to museums clear across the state of Arizona. We had 51,000 visitors this year at the museum. Based on that study, there is still a very large potential. As you see that orange mark in the middle, that makes up the 51,000. And the rest of it is all the potential visitors that could visit museums in the state of Arizona over the course of 12 months. The expansion opening gives us one of the most excellent opportunities to really increase the visibility of this Smithsonian Museum, which represents 19 western states of the American West and is located right here in the Arts District of Scottsdale. I want you to just think about that. It's very compelling to think about what this museum represents, not just Arizona, but the entire American West. We are seen as the Museum of the West, and it's located a mile from here. And we have the opportunity now at 55,000 square feet to exhibit some of the greatest Western art in this country. As I mentioned, some of the greatest Hopi pottery, the Eddie Basha collection. All of that's going to be in this new 12,000 square feet of the Lewis Sands Fourth Center. But it's going to take awareness. It's going to take visibility. It's going to take the ability for us to sort of move away from conventional media and marketing techniques to really push some of the channels. TV, radio, whole new digital ad campaigns, working with banners across the street. We need to spend the next 3 months really focused on making sure that we let a whole bunch of new people be impressed about this new exhibit opening and have the opportunity to extend this visibility out across the United States through our partnerships with Experience Scottsdale and the Arts District. So it's a combination of a number of things that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you what those are. In January, we're just going to start beginning with TV production, doing the stories, pitching the media, both outside Arizona as well as inside of Arizona. Beginning the social ad campaigns, beginning to start building this beginning of an understanding that this exhibit area is about ready to open. In February, the momentum continues. We start the TV. We build some scale of digital ads, both Google ads, search ads. Somebody comes to the website and says, what's the things to do in Scottsdale? We now are elevated to one of those 1 or 2 positions. All that needs to take place. Sending out postcards to all of our membership. Those are just some of the things that we're going to do. And then in March, we have the actual activation of the opening. It's a full 6 days of action that happens during that course of that week. We have a ribbon cutting. We have radio going. We have banners across the streets, and we have the TV and radio still going at that point. This is something this museum has not been able to do over the last 11 years. It's just unfortunate. Being 11 years old doesn't allow your budget to be as big as you'd like it to be. I talked to the director at the Herd. It takes time in order to build up to be able to build your marketing budget because, as we know in the budgeting world, marketing doesn't always come as the top. But we've changed that. We have a new director of marketing, Danielle Ajami. I'm very proud of her. She's a great strategist. She's built this, and she's ready to perform to it. So we see ourselves really looking at doing a number of things differently and increasing that. But that takes money. And this is once in a blue moon opportunity for us to have this chance to really, really promote this museum like never before. We will also have 6 full days during the opening week of March 24th through the 29th. That's the opening week, so we're going to engage people in the ribbon cutting, we're going to engage people and members and private tours, we're going to have a gala-like opening party, and we're going to have 2 days of free admission on Saturday and Sunday of that end of that week just to let everybody just come and see it at the end. We think this is the best way to open up this exhibit, and I think it deserves this type of visibility and highlights. As I said, again, we will not ever have this opportunity probably ever again. So this is the time to do it. And today I'm here before you to ask you for a one-time $90,000 request to assist the museum and our city in really making an effort to promote this. We're going to spend close to $160,000 in our total budget to market this over 3 months. And we're asking for $90,000 from the city to allow us to open this giant new city arts asset, and with a lot of pride and a lot of vigor. So with that, I'd like to open it up for questions.
Thank you so much. This is so exciting. I know you guys have been working so hard on everything, and to see a date come up, right, is wonderful. I'm going to open it up for questions with commissioners, and then we do have a public comment. So before we make any motions, we'll go ahead and hear that. So let's go ahead and start with any comments or questions, please.
Great. Make sure you know this is peak spring break week, so hotels are surging with leisure guests. Surging with leisure guests.
Yes.
Full. So I would encourage you to reach out to concierges, get them in so that they can weave in your museum, which is fantastic. I've been several times, to make sure that it's on people's itineraries.
Yes, we have great relationships with the concierges at the hotels. We prided ourselves in making sure that we talk to them quite often, so thank you.
Okay. Be careful with TV. It's pretty narrow. It's a lot of money.
I know.
Okay.
You'll be targeted
Okay.
best we can.
I got just a couple questions. So the 51,000 visitors that you said you had last year, do you track where they come from? Do you have a breakdown?
Yeah.
Is it 95% Arizona? Is it Scottsdale? Is it drive-in? And then,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, we do capture the fact those that are in-state and those that are out-of-state. And it's 52% in-state, and 48% of our visitors this last year from out-of-state.
Out of state. That's great. Do you have aspirational with this 90,000? Do you have a goal that you're satisfied with of 51,000 to get to X, to get to Y, or are there states that you're specifically targeting outside of Arizona?
Well, I just believe strongly that our museum should receive 100,000 visitors a year.
Okay.
That's not going to happen in 1 year, but over the next 2 or 3 years, we should double the amount of people that come through our museum. It's really capturing the people in the state of Arizona, because I find that people that understand that we're here that are in Arizona, when they have their family and friends come in from out of state, it's number one issue, number one bucket list item for them to take them to the museum. So it's really getting these people in Arizona to become fans of our museum, and first of all, knowing it's here.
Well, we definitely in the hotels focus on why you're coming to Scottsdale, why you're coming to Arizona.
Yeah.
Being the West, being Native American. Do you
Right.
guys, have you thought through strategies with hotels as far as group tours, group discounts, that kind of such as you move forward?
Yes, we have talked. We talk to the concierges, those things come up for sure, and we've had some in the past.
Okay, great, thank
Yep.
you.
Other questions?
As far as your social media campaign and influencers, I know that the Experience Scottsdale does an amazing job with that, and I know you have a great partnership with them. But can you dive into a little more about your strategy with social media and influencers?
Yeah, well, it's some of our greatest influencers are the sort of emotive storytelling that takes place at our museum, and we utilize some of that in our campaigns in the past, in social media. Some of the stories that we've had when we've opened up other exhibits. I know Rachel's here, and we've had some beginning conversations between the two of us about how this campaign will utilize the cross purposes of them advertising outside the state and us inside the state. And back to my ideas of really working on making sure that we increase the size of that orange spot in the middle of that 900,000 people and get more of these Arizona museum visitors to come to Western Spirit, and allow that to then populate by having them bring their family and friends when they come into town. Commissioner, we just don't have the finalized social media plan, just to be answered directly to your question, but we've started it, the conversations. We're about ready to continue those, but right now I don't have a final plan.
Yeah, I think I just might add, obviously, people are turning towards even AI to, plan my itinerary
Yeah.
in whatever destination. So I think I would really caution you to be careful with TV and radio and really focus on digital. That is where it is, and that's where you're going to reach the biggest audience.
Yeah.
And the influencers, absolutely. You want to target, obviously, family friendly and all those sorts of things. But we want you to succeed, absolutely. And we want you to grow because obviously you're a jewel in our city. So
Yeah, Danielle is a huge fan of digital advertising, so.
Any other questions, comments? All right, thank you very much. With that, I'm going to ask, we do have public comment, a request to speak. David Smith, if you'll join us, please.
Thank you, Chairman Menier and members of the commission. There's not much I can add to what Todd already said. By the way, my name is David Smith, and full disclosure, I'm actually on the board of Western Spirit, serving as their treasurer, have been for a few years. But for those of you that weren't here 10 years ago or so, I mean, this is an exciting experiment for the city. Funding with tourism dollars a major new tourism venue. One of the several things in the portfolio that visitors can do when they come to the city. And as you know, it was all funded with city bed tax dollars, no citizen investment in this, no citizen tax dollars. So it was an incredible experiment, and it's worked in an incredible way. And I think, speaking on behalf of the board, we would openly thank you for your support over the years since then, the support for operating expenses of the museum. Greatly appreciated, and it certainly supplements the effort that the museum has to do in raising private funds, because obviously admissions plus your support is not enough to run this asset, this tourism asset. And which then brings up the question of marketing. And I applaud, if you approve this, I applaud this as a first step in a marketing effort associated with the museum. Marketing really is your responsibility because it's your museum. We have a management agreement with you, as you know, to hang the pictures on the wall and make sure that it's an attractive venue for people to visit. But it is a city venue, now supplemented by another $17 million asset. So it's very much your asset, and we encourage you to let the whole world know that it's there, that it's exciting to visit, and again, one of the portfolio of tourism assets. This $90,000 will certainly make a big difference in our ability to communicate to the world that we have an exciting threshold event, that we're celebrating an expanded venue and the Basha collection, either of which would be an extraordinary opportunity. And then hopefully, as you and your fellow commissioners and the council get your arms around how to deal with the marketing of the budget for Old Town marketing that you have in years to come. I know that you're struggling with that now, but as you get definition to that, I hope a significant portion of that on an ongoing basis will be targeted to promoting your asset, your museum, your tourism venue. And the only thing I would say is it's been an extraordinary success thus far. It has the opportunity to be even more meaningfully successful in the future. And my encouragement to you would be figure out how to do this again. Find another opportunity equally significant to the tourism venue of visitation opportunities. This is the core, the heart of our city. This is the arts and culture, and it's been a good ride. It's going to be a good ride going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. At this point, commissioners, if there's nothing else you'd like to discuss, I would ask for a motion to possibly recommend the full ask of $90,000 unless there's an alternative recommendation.
I move for the full 90,000.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Wonderful. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Can't wait. All right, moving on. Tourism Development Commission Ordinance Review. Commission discussion and possible recommendation to City Council to consider changes to the Tourism Development Commission Ordinance, Section 2-286, which is creation and membership. We have Steve that is going to be presenting for us.
Yes, Madam Chair, Commissioners, at last month's meeting, as you recall, you requested kind of a review of this particular section. So we're going to discuss the process here and then go into some general comments on what you think you'd like to see this particular section, which is dated, any updates you'd like to see in that particular area. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Bill Highland to discuss the process. I know you wanted to hear a little bit about that. The button.
Sorry. Hi, good morning, Commission members. Bill Highland, Deputy City Attorney. I guess you just wanted to know a little bit about the process for making a recommendation. It would be relatively simple, so you have it properly agendized to make a recommendation, but you would need to decide exactly what you want to recommend when it comes to changing the code. And then if it passed by a majority of the vote, then you would authorize the chair to do a letter to City Council indicating exactly how you recommend to change the code, and then it would be up to the City Council on whether they wanted to agendize that change. One of the council members could put it on the agenda, and then they would vote on it.
Okay, thank you very much. Steve, should we read through it or just?
Would you like me to read, or you just, what we're looking for is just some general comments, some direction, and
Okay.
staff will come back probably at upcoming maybe January meeting with some red line versions for your consideration in the process Bill had just ran through.
Okay, wonderful. I guess I'll go ahead and start on a few things that I think, again, I asked for this to be brought forward because it's dated, if anything. So within this section, one of the main things is Scottsdale Convention and Visitors Bureau should obviously be updated to Experience Scottsdale, since that's their new name. One of the other things that I was looking at with this short section is maybe a definition of the Scottsdale market area hoteliers. Wanting to make sure that anyone sitting up here is involved in Scottsdale as a market. We don't have, people from outside that don't really affect our bed tax, first of all, sitting up on a decision-making basis. So I think if we could add in, particularly behind the hotelier where it says minimum of 4, Scottsdale, I think market area hoteliers would be a proper addition, just to kind of clear it up a bit. And I did have a question that I don't know if my other commissioners did, but you do have to be a resident, obviously, to sit up here, and that is addressed in section 2.241. So we're not really discussing that today, but it is implied here. The other thing I was kind of looking at is when it comes to hoteliers, I believe we should have a certain level of management defined there, whether that's a director level, maybe not necessarily a GM, but some type of minimum requirement of responsibility and decision-making when it comes to the property. So that's something I would like to see. And one I'm not sure that needs to be changed, but with the 4 hoteliers, the only concern there is we've had some trouble finding candidates. So, maybe there's a better way we can, work on building up the idea of getting people to give up their time to sit up here and assist us with filling those 4 seats. So those were kind of things that I had looked at. Commissioners, any thoughts on the makeup and membership of the commission? Because we all read it in advance, right? So if there's no other changes, those are just things I think that should be looked at. And Steve, did you have any opinions on that?
No, Madam Chair, I think you covered it fairly well. So our next process will take those comment suggestions, redline this, and bring it back and follow the process that Bill had outlined there. Probably most likely January.
Sure, that sounds great.
Thank you. Thank you for the comment suggestions.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on, event program funding request. Commission discussion and recommendation on the following applications for event funding. We have the Gulf Carlisle Arizona Women's Golf Classic asking for $8,500. Do Do we have any comments? Steve, do you have?
Yeah, this is, I believe, a second-year event at TPC Golf Course, April, May. It's a women's tournament. I believe it's some entry point into the LPGA in terms of the golf round or tournament, as you will. So it's fairly new. We feel it's going to be fairly successful, kind of excited about it, and asking for 8,500 recommendation.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Jeff?
It's great that this is a TPC. It's basically a lot of these women come out of college golf or from all over the world. It is difficult to get on the LPGA Tour. The Epson Tour is a wonderful step up. To be able to host at TPC Champions Course brings a lot of folks and a lot of attention from around the world. So they're unbelievable players, and I'm really proud that we have this in Scottsdale, so I would highly support this.
Wonderful, thank you. Any other questions? All right, with that, I will take a motion for a recommendation to fund, either at that level or a different amount.
I make a motion to recommend we fund.
Thank
And
you.
second.
Wonderful. All
Just to
those,
define that, that's at the 8,500 amount, correct?
8,500.
Okay.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Congratulations to them. That's exciting. Okay, number 6, Experience Scottsdale First Quarter Performance Measure Report. Report update and commission discussion. Presenter Rachel Pearson, Vice President, Community and Government Affairs of Experience Scottsdale. Welcome, Rachel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you so much for having me here this morning. I'm here to just provide a quick update on some highlights from Experience Scottsdale from our first quarter of the fiscal year. We are in the 4th year of our 5-year contract with the city, and we are tasked with completing 17 performance standards on behalf of the community. All of that's kind of outlined in your report, but I'm going to hit on some key highlights from the quarter. So, as many of you know, we have audience personas. They're really kind of that group that is the key travelers that we are aligned with both demographically and psychographically. And we are working to ensure that we are leveraging those personas. And we're doing that for high impact activations and other experiences that allow us to connect with those potential travelers directly. So in the first quarter, we hosted a cross-departmental event, and this was to reach luxury travelers, media, travel advisors, in one of our top markets for visitation, New York City. So throughout the summer, we sponsored the Bryant Park Yoga Series. It is a weekly event that is attended by over 1,000 people in a very high zip code area that we like to be in, very well aligns with our luxury travelers, our wellness warriors, and making sure that we're connecting with those potential visitors directly. We also were able to invite some key media and clients to join us for a final activation of the summer series. And we co-hosted a 150-person dinner in partnership with Bon Appetit, and that was to introduce New York's foodies and travel writers, again, meeting planners, travel agents, all to Scottsdale's indigenous culture and cuisine. While we all think of New York as a culinary epicenter, they do not have any indigenous-owned restaurants. So this is a unique experience for their residents to participate in. So our Sonoran Desert Roots dinner showcased acclaimed Native American chefs from the area, as well as traditional performances and art, and all kind of helped us tee up last month's Indigenous Culinary Experience, which took place at Western Spirit. And our teams leveraged that opportunity while we were in New York to meet with additional media and clients as well. So transitioning a little bit, it's hard to believe summer was so long ago now, but we had a really successful campaign that generated over 390,000 page views for our summer website and stories, and we've now turned our attention into that fall shoulder season and holiday need time period with what we call our Unwind in Scottsdale campaign. And through this campaign, we invite people to really unwind here in Scottsdale before they unwrap the holidays and all of its obligations and stress that sometimes comes with that as well. And so we are positioning our community as a great autumn and holiday escape, specifically for luxury and families to come who are going to enjoy our great weather, seeking that relaxation. And our community really has a lot of incredible festive activities now for the holidays as well. So there's so much to enjoy during that time frame. So we were in 20 different drive and fly markets for this campaign, directing people to our website through emails. We used connected television, social media, and more. And then we also ran promotions directly with Expedia and Capital One Travel, allowing us to extend further into those luxury markets as well. Now, since we first launched our holiday campaign quite a few years ago, it was a slow season for us. It kind of unfortunately rivaled summer for its slowed down. And so what we're really pleased at is that the occupancy that we now see at our Scottsdale area hotels and resorts during that time has increased nearly 9 percentage points, and revenue has more than doubled at our hotels during that time frame. Our communications team also was able to collaborate with National Broadcast Travel Contributor. This was to ensure that we were on affiliate news stations, we were participating in syndicated TV shows, really getting the word out across the country, and we were able to see great spots about Scottsdale and encouraging people to come here for the fall and the holidays in key markets like Los Angeles and Denver, among many others. Now, as many of you know, luxury has been a real bright spot for our community. If you were at our annual meeting just a month ago, we had some speakers talking about that, how great the luxury segment is continuing to do with travel in particular. And so we are making sure that we are focusing in on that segment as well. In fact, a study from Focusrite talks about the fact that those consumers who use travel advisors, nearly 3/4 of them are using those travel advisors to book luxury travel. So it's an important connection for us to have with that particular segment of the industry. And as many of you know, we've had now for a couple of years an incredible partnership with the Luxury Travel Consortium, Virtuoso. That has really opened doors for us into other luxury travel consortia and allowed us to connect with some of the top travel professionals around the world. And so during the quarter, we maximized our participation at Virtuoso Travel Week. It's an event that brings together those top travel agents from around the globe. And so we were able to connect with almost 270 Virtuoso agents. We did that through one-on-one appointments. We were participating in networking events. And then we also hosted a theater full of travel advisors that were there to learn about Scottsdale and what we have to offer to their luxury clients. We also were a key partner at the Global Travel Marketplace, another key show for our travel advisors. They actually were coming here to the Valley, so that was a unique opportunity for us. We educated over 80 luxury travel professionals during the event and generated almost 90 leads and services for our members. Hopefully, a few of you up there received some of those leads and services from those clients as well. Now, in the meeting space, really proud to say that our convention sales team is seeing great pace this year compared to previous years. So within the bookings within our Scottsdale city limits, they're up 23% over the same time last year, and we've already achieved 68% of our goal for room nights into those Scottsdale area properties. So really pleased to see that continued interest from the group segment. Now, with the convention sales team, they, like many of our other teams, are always out and about, connecting with meeting planners, making sure that we are keeping Scottsdale top of mind. So during the quarter, we conducted 90 appointments with corporate, association, and sports planners during Connect Marketplace, and over half of those represented potential new business to the destination. During that show, we also had, many of you know, we've started using different activations and sponsorships. This was recommended by our customer advisory board, and they've proved incredibly successful. So we incorporated a wellness lounge for some key customers, and that allowed us to connect with an additional 130 meeting planners at that particular trade show. So those are just a couple of quick highlights. There was more in the report that you received. When we come back to share more about our second quarter, you're going to hear a lot from us about our efforts around connecting with golf media and golf travelers. Of course, our holiday promotions, some of the results from that, as well as the campaign that we are beginning to run around our signature event season coming up. As we all know, there's so much going on. We have even more, it feels like, this year than ever before. So we are wrapping a whole campaign around that. So we'll have more to share with you next time. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Again, always fantastic, really fun. I love how creative you guys get with some of these events, like the yoga in New York, and the culinary, I think is very cool too. So thank you to you and everyone at Experience Scottsdale for all the work you do.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any comments, questions? No? All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, staff reports.
Yes, Madam Chair, Commissioners, including your staff reports, the bed tax collection report, Smith Travel, you received that as well in terms of our hotel performance indicators and classification report. Just to mention on the first two I mentioned there, the tax collection and the classification report, I think in the coming months I'd like to have someone from tax audit come in and explain the data and how that's collected in terms of the difference between the reports. The numbers may vary a little bit there, so I thought it'd be good for the commission to hear that, have them come in briefly during this particular agenda and go over them and how that collection process works, so we'll schedule that. And I believe Rachel has an update on the budget.
Chairman Ear, members of the commission, we are not quite ready to bring you a full budget. We had the benefit yesterday of meeting with the esteemed city manager and getting some direction. We will not be proposing, as of today, any new, what we call out-of-budget packages, so things that you haven't seen before. In January, we anticipate getting updated forecasted revenue for 26-27, as well as some additional direction we will incorporate from the city manager and some decisions that Judy Doyle, Senior Director of Enterprise Operations, is making. But as you can see, as of today, the budget is relatively flat over forecast. We do, at the direction of the city manager, anticipate an investment in additional Old Town marketing dollars. And again, we hope that our friends at the museum will benefit from that, as well as all of Old Town Scottsdale. And additionally, we have done some work to move. We had some events-related items in the 25%. We have since moved those into the 9%. So we'll be bringing forward some adjusted event funding guidelines to try and fit into that 9%, and we'll be a little bit over budget there this year, and hopefully in future years that'll even out more as we work on those event funding program guidelines. So this is it so far. We will bring you a full budget, proposed budget for your recommendations in January, well in advance of when council sees it in the spring, for your recommendations and edits. And that is all I have for you today, unless you have questions.
Commissioners, any questions? All right, thank you, Rachel. Okay, commissioners report. What did we do?
Oh, I went to the Scottsdale tree lighting. It was so much fun. Definitely a blast and so much energy down there, so that was great.
Yeah, I was there as well. Scottsdale is just an amazing event in general. The vibe, the buzz was fantastic. So congrats to everyone who's, part of that whole program. It's beautiful. Anyone else attend the event?
I attended the Golden Pellet Art Walk the other night. 75 degrees doesn't hurt, and I ran into a lot of friends. It was awesome. It was really cool to be downtown. So it was very, very festive.
Wonderful. All right, any other reports from commissioners? No. Public comment, I have not received any further.
We have not received any.
Okay, and then identification of future agenda items.
A couple items, as we mentioned, some updates will be coming in the coming months. We mentioned a few in January, Scottsdale Western Week. Our event programs start rolling up here in the spring, so we'll begin that process once we get an understanding of how those will be administered and available funding for that, so we'll be bringing that forward. A couple of things that will be coming as well. We are planning to do a resident tourism sentiment survey. We're beginning that process, which will be administered probably in the springtime. So we're working on that, looking at that, working with Longwoods on that. And we're doing a Scottsdale Stadium economic impact study this spring. So we're beginning that centered here on the Scottsdale Stadium, and we'll have some data hopefully before summer.
Great. Do you guys, commissioners, have anything they'd like to add to the future agenda? No? All right. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
All motion to adjourn?
Have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Have a great day. Thank
Thank
you
you.
all for being here.